Love and Marriage Huntsville came back this past Saturday night, and honestly, this episode had a lot to unpack. From the very beginning, it was clear that tensions were high, especially between Trish and Ken. One of the main things that stood out to me was the way Trish interacted with her son. Her son has been struggling with depression, and he openly told her how he feels when she and Ken get into arguments. He doesn't want to feel depressed. He doesn't want to cry. But the situation affects him deeply. The heartbreaking part is that Trish struggles to even look her son in the eye while he is opening up. She keeps looking down and simply agreeing with him, saying, "You're right, son." There's no genuine eye contact or feeling of connection. Even if this is just Trish's natural demeanor, it comes across as distant and cold. She needs to show more engagement and empathy because her son is expressing real emotions, and this is a critical moment that could shape how he feels about communication and emotional support from his parents. The episode also revisited some drama involving Nell and Tisha. Nell was talking about how Tisha needs to stay out of her business. She mentioned this to Destiny, revealing that she has a grandbaby on the way, and then the conversation shifted to Destiny and Twan's dating life. Nell's focus on keeping Tisha out of her affairs shows that boundaries are still a huge issue within this circle. Watching these dynamics play out on camera, it's clear that people are constantly trying to manage their personal lives while under the scrutiny of the show, which often magnifies every small conflict. Destiny and Twan's interaction during the episode was one of the most cringy moments. Destiny explained that Twan was guarding her body because that is what she paid him to do. She then complimented him, saying he looked nice, and he reciprocated with a compliment. The situation quickly became awkward when Destiny revealed that she didn't know Twan was Lance's godbrother. Their conversation was strange, full of flirtation, yet not genuine flirtation. It felt forced and uncomfortable. The entire exchange highlighted how appearances on the show often conflict with real-life interactions, creating moments that feel staged rather than authentic. Ken and Trish have been together for 3 years, and it's evident that their relationship is under stress. Ken admitted during the episode that if things continue the way they have been for another 6 months, he may not be able to handle it. This confession was significant because it exposed the real struggles Ken is facing. At the same time, there's a huge contrast between what he says on the show and what he posts on social media. On the show, he talks about potentially leaving, yet online, he calls Trish delusional and claims he is never leaving. This disconnect makes it hard for viewers to see them as genuine. Their actions and statements often don't align, which fuels skepticism and criticism from fans. Watching Trish and Ken interact on the show is like seeing a script being read without genuine emotion. Trish often avoids eye contact, and Ken's expressions suggest frustration and confusion. There's a visible disconnect, not just between them, but between what they portray on television and their online personas. For Ken, it raises a question. Why continue in a situation where your feelings aren't being considered, and where the public can see your struggles? If it's just for the show, it may be worth it to him, but it certainly comes across as emotionally taxing. Trish also has her own struggles, and seeing her navigate these interactions reveals a lot about her personality and coping mechanisms. Another storyline involved Martel, who was unexpectedly at a daycare center. His presence there was confusing and seemed out of place. Martel has moved Ariana into his house, and while Neil mentioned that he isn't making a profit, Martel insisted it's better for him financially. Martel has been trying to control interactions, especially regarding Ariane and Tisha. He insisted that any conversations between Ariane and Tisha need to be monitored to prevent conflicts. This behavior shows Martel's controlling tendencies and the ongoing tension surrounding boundaries within their families. It also highlights how past issues are never fully resolved, as Martel continues to intervene in situations that may not directly involve him. During this episode, Trish also had a session with Dr. Francis. This part of the show gave insight into her emotional state. Trish spoke about her father, who was in the military. She explained that while he wanted his children to live by certain rules, he didn't always follow those rules himself. Trish expressed frustration about not being able to share her feelings with her father before he passed away. This moment was deeply emotional and provided context for her behavior. It's clear that Trish's unresolved issues with her father impact how she manages relationships and emotions today. Dr. Francis highlighted the importance of having a spotter or someone to support you emotionally while you work through challenges. Trish admitted that she thought Marquez was her spotter, but he turned out not to be reliable. This revelation aligns with ongoing speculation that Trish may have deeper feelings for Marquez, and that Ken serves as a rebound or distraction. Trish also talked about her reluctance to get close to people. She prefers to handle things on her own, driven by frustration and anger, and is afraid of opening up to Ken fully. Despite this, Ken has remained by her side for 3 years, showing a level of commitment and patience. However, Trish's hesitancy to trust or rely on Ken puts a strain on their relationship. It raises questions about whether their bond is based on genuine connection or convenience, and whether Ken's presence is more about being a rebound than a true partner. This dynamic is complicated and reflects the broader patterns of relationships within the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast, where emotions are intense and past experiences often influence current choices. The episode also highlighted upcoming events, like a card game party that is set to bring even more drama. Martel's presence at this event, along with Ariana wearing a sweatshirt with his name, adds another layer of tension. There are ongoing conflicts between Kimmy and Nail, with Kimmy threatening to dip Nail in a pool. This playful but confrontational behavior foreshadows more heated interactions, and the audience is left anticipating how these dynamics will unfold. Meanwhile, Destiny's interactions with Nail were also tense, as it appeared that Nail pushed her in some way. These small but significant moments show how physical interactions and emotional tensions are closely intertwined on the show. Martel's behavior remains unpredictable, especially when it comes to managing interactions between family members. His insistence on monitoring Arian and Tisha's conversations demonstrates his desire for control. He has been asking for respect for 5 years and continues to use threats, such as bringing up side chick number 2, to maintain leverage. This constant tension between characters emphasizes the difficulties of balancing personal relationships with public personas. The show thrives on these interactions, but it also highlights real emotional struggles that go beyond entertainment. Returning to Trish, her therapy session with Dr. Francis provided critical insight. Her discussion about her father and her need for a spotter revealed the emotional vulnerability behind her guarded exterior. Trish has experienced loss and betrayal, shaping her reluctance to fully engage with Ken or trust others. Her guarded behavior is both a defense mechanism and a source of tension in her relationships. Despite Ken's commitment, Trish's inability to fully open up creates an imbalance, leaving Ken to navigate a complex emotional landscape largely on his own. The contrast between Trish's vulnerability and Martel's controlling tendencies creates a fascinating dynamic within the show. While Trish struggles internally with grief and unresolved emotional issues, Martel externally asserts control over interactions, often exacerbating tensions. This duality reflects the broader theme of Love and Marriage Huntsville, where emotional complexity and interpersonal conflicts intersect. The show captures these layers, allowing viewers to witness both the private struggles and the public dramatics that define each cast member's experience. Another critical moment in the episode involved the ongoing discussion about boundaries. Tisha and Arian's interactions have been limited, with Martell intervening to ensure conflicts do not arise. This demonstrates how unresolved past issues continue to shape current relationships. Martell's involvement is a reminder that the dynamics on the show are not just about surface-level drama. They are rooted in years of complicated relationships and emotional baggage. The show provides a platform for these interactions to unfold, offering viewers insight into the real challenges of maintaining relationships under scrutiny. The episode also raised questions about authenticity. Ken's statements on the show versus his online persona exemplify the disconnect between public and private behavior. When he discusses leaving Trish on the show, but posts contradictory messages online, it undermines his credibility. Trish's distant behavior further complicates perceptions, as viewers struggle to discern whether her actions reflect genuine feelings or performative behavior. These inconsistencies highlight a recurring theme in Love and Marriage Huntsville: the tension between reality and performance. Cast members must navigate their personal lives while being constantly observed, often resulting in contradictory or exaggerated behavior. In addition to the main couples, other cast members like Nell, Destiny, and Tuan provide supplemental drama that enriches the storyline. Nell's insistence on keeping Tisha out of her business, Destiny and Tuan's awkward interactions, and Kimmy's confrontational behavior toward Nell all contribute to a sense of unpredictability. Each character brings unique tensions, and their interactions create a web of conflicts that are both engaging and emotionally charged. This complexity is part of what makes Love and Marriage Huntsville compelling, as viewers witness the ripple effects of individual choices across multiple relationships. The upcoming card game party promises to amplify these dynamics further. Martell's presence, Ariana's involvement, and the playful but tense exchanges between Kimmy and Nail suggest that viewers can expect heightened drama. Destiny's potential confrontations add yet another layer of anticipation. These events illustrate how the show combines personal conflict with social interactions to maintain engagement. Even seemingly minor moments, like a card game or a poolside threat, carry significant emotional weight due to the history and relationships of the cast members. Throughout the episode, therapy sessions provided insight into the emotional complexities of the cast. Trish's discussion about her father, grief, and emotional defenses highlighted the ways in which past experiences shaped current behavior. Ken's frustrations revealed the challenges of supporting a partner who is emotionally guarded. Martell's controlling behavior demonstrated the influence of power dynamics and unresolved conflicts. Together, these elements create a tapestry of human emotion that is both relatable and dramatic, allowing viewers to connect with the cast on multiple levels. The interactions between Trish and Ken, particularly, are a focal point. Ken's patience and commitment contrast sharply with Trish's guarded demeanor and emotional distance. This imbalance raises questions about the sustainability of their relationship. Trish's inability to fully engage emotionally, coupled with Ken's contrasting expressions of concern and frustration, sets the stage for ongoing tension. Their dynamic is further complicated by Trish's past relationships and emotional baggage, including her history with Marquez, which continues to influence her current choices. Similarly, Martell's ongoing attempts to manage interactions between Arian and Tisha reflect a broader pattern of control and intervention. His insistence on monitoring conversations, setting boundaries, and using threats highlights the challenges of balancing family dynamics and personal interests. These interventions often exacerbate tensions rather than resolve them, demonstrating the complexity of relationships within this group. The show captures these nuances effectively, offering a lens into the difficulties of maintaining trust and respect amidst a backdrop of long-standing conflicts. Trish's therapy session also revealed her need for independence and control. She expressed frustration with the limitations of her relationships, particularly with Ken. Her desire to handle challenges alone, fueled by anger and past disappointments, underscores a recurring theme of emotional self-reliance. This tendency, while understandable given her experiences, contributes to the tension and misunderstandings between her and Ken. The session emphasized the importance of emotional support, highlighting the gaps that exist when one partner struggles to open up. The episode also explored themes of perception versus reality. Ken's public statements, Trish's guarded demeanor, and Martel's interventions all illustrate the contrast between how individuals present themselves and their true feelings. These discrepancies create tension and confusion for viewers, who must navigate the layers of performance and authenticity. Love and Marriage Huntsville thrives on this interplay, using the contrast between private emotions and public behavior to drive drama and engagement. In conclusion, this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville provided a deep look into the complexities of relationships, emotional struggles, and personal boundaries. Trish and Ken's dynamic highlighted the challenges of emotional engagement and commitment, while Martel's behavior illustrated the difficulties of controlling and managing interactions within a complex social network. Therapy sessions offered insight into the cast's emotional landscapes, revealing vulnerabilities, past traumas, and coping mechanisms. The episode also set the stage for future drama, with upcoming events like the card game party, promising heightened tension and emotional confrontations. Overall, the episode emphasized the interplay between reality and performance, showing how personal experiences, unresolved conflicts, and public scrutiny shape the behaviors and interactions of the cast. As viewers continue to follow these stories, the emotional depth and complexity of Love and Marriage Huntsville remain compelling, offering a window into the challenges of navigating relationships under constant observation.